Okay, welcome back. Last tutorial we developed this phone, which is actually the model that we're going to use to cut out the slot from the body of the phone amp. In this tutorial we're going to create the holes or the tunnels through which the sound will travel as it goes through the model or through the body and out through the acoustic speaker. So we do this kind of a reverse engineering of this product. So if you notice, we've made this phone and then we're going to make the tunnel, and only at the end are we going to make the actual body and subtract the phone and the tunnel from that body. So here we go. We are going to make another component from here, tutorial phone amp, right click, new component, and it's called component 2:1. Click once, click again, and we're going to call it tunnel, and enter. Okay, so now that's our active component. Everything we build is going to be inside tunnel, the tunnel component. Okay, well, just spin this around a little bit so we can see what we're doing. We're going to be building a sort of a tunnel that leads from this speaker down to around about here, which is where we're going to have the start of our acoustic speaker. Now that's the design that I've settled on. If you are doing some other kind of design, then your tunnel will be located in a different place. Similarly, if your phone speakers or speaker are not on the back of your phone like mine are, or like mine is, then again you're going to have to modify your design. For instance, if your speakers are on the bottom of the phone. But anyway, let's start. I'm going to start by drawing the basic tunnel on the level of the back of on the plane of the back of the phone. So I'm going to create a new sketch, and the plane that I'm going to draw on is the back of the phone, like that. Okay, now I'm going to draw a circle. So I'm going to go sketch, circle, and center plus diameter. And I'm going to go from here, roughly in the middle of my speaker, and I'm going to drag it out. Let's make it 15. Oops. Just type in, no, that's not working. 15, enter. Alright. Okay, so I've drawn this circle now, but we'll see that I can actually move this circle around, and I actually want it to fix it. I want to fix it to that speaker hole. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my line tool, make sure it's a construction line, and draw a line from that corner down to that corner. Alright, click escape. And that shouldn't be a construction, that should be a solid line. Okay, now if I just select, oops, the center of that, or if I select the circle and I go midpoint on this line, then the circle is fixed or constrained to the midpoint of this line. I'm just going to hit Control Z and do it, and I'm going to do it again. So midpoint, that, and that. Now you may have noticed that before the circle was blue, now it's black. Black means it's constrained and it can't move. Okay, very good. Hit escape. Next stage, I'm going to draw an ellipse down here. The ellipse down the bottom, I want it to be exactly in the middle. So I'm first of all going to draw a line that is a construction line, and it's going to go from the center of that top line all the way down, doesn't really matter how far, about there. Okay, I'm going to get my ellipse tool and just move over somewhere along the middle of that line, click about that far and make it about that high. Hit escape. Now I forgot to change that to a non-construction line, so I'm going to click it and undo the construction. Very good. Okay, so now I want to create a couple of lines here. So I get my line tool, go from there to there, accept, from there to there, accept, click escape, go over to my constraints bar, click on the tangent icon and make that line tangent to that circle and that line tangent to that circle or ellipse, that line tangent to that circle and that line tangent to that ellipse. Great. Sketch, trim. So I just want to get rid of that little bit and that little bit and that little bit and that little bit. Alright, now we could get rid of that, but no need to, and we don't want to get rid of those, and you'll see why in a minute. We can now stop the sketch. Okay, so there is our sketch for our tunnel, or part of our tunnel, but it's in 2D, it hasn't got any depth. So remember, we're going to eventually be building this out of 3mm plywood. So everything that we do is going to be in multiples of 3. So I'm going to make this tunnel 6mm thick. So 2 thicknesses of ply, that's how thick it's going to be, and it's going to go backwards. So I'm going to get my extrude tool, and I'm going to select all the parts of the tunnel. Okay, that's all of it, and I'm going to go back 6, enter. Great. Alright, next bit is we're going to need to build the front of this funnel of this speaker. So we need to create a plane that's going to be the front of the whole body. Okay, so remember we're building this in multiples of 3mm because we're using 3mm ply. So if I go from this, the front of the phone, I'm going to go 5 thicknesses forward. So 5 times 3mm is 15mm. So I need to create a plane 15mm in front of the phone. I go construct, offset plane. Now over here it's asking me to select the plane that I'm offsetting. So that the front of the phone is the plane that I'm offsetting. That's the distance, or the direction. The arrow is the direction, and the distance is going to be 15, enter. Now that's the plane that I'm going to be building my next ellipse on. So I'm going to go create a new sketch, create sketch on that plane. See, that plane. And it's going to be from the center of this ellipse, but I can't see it because the sketch that I used to create that it turns off automatically. So I'm just going to turn that on so I can see it. There we go. Okay, sketch, ellipse, and I'm going to go from the center of that existing ellipse out about that far and about that high. I think about 90 or so would be good. Alright, nice. And you know what, I just put some dimensions in. So we'll make that height instead of 18.6 whatever, we'll just make it a neat 20. And this one, why doesn't it want to do that one? Oh, here we go. We'll go down here. Instead of 44 point whatever, we'll make it 45. There we go. Alright, great. And we can stop that sketch. Now if I spin it around, we can see exactly where it is. Great. Okay, the next job is to join or connect those two ellipses. To do that, I'm going to create a loft. So under Create, Loft, and now it's asking me to select the profile. So that is one profile, and that is the other profile, and there we go. It's created that loft, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to go OK. Wonderful. Alright, let's look at this from the side. And yep, I was thinking of moving this up, but actually I haven't got a lot of room to move it up. So we'll just leave it like that. And hopefully that's big enough to get a bit of sound out. That is the end of the tunnel section, so I can close that off just like so. Alright, next tutorial we'll be looking at building the body and then hollowing it out with the phone and the tunnel. Thanks very much for watching and following. See you next time.